All right. Shalom, 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 y'all. Shalom is Michael Israel. You are watching Spiritual Combat, and we have a great show for you today. Um, what we're going to be talking about today is the importance of forethought. Okay, the importance of forethought. We're gonna define it and really break it down. And this is coming on what was the inspiration for this show was if y'all saw Lions Den last week, okay, uh, you had Frogman on there, and he came in there and he had an one of his I guess sayings that he learned while he was in the service, and that was sweat washes away blood. Okay, so I guess sweat in peacetime washes away blood in wartime, and I was like, wow. I was like, man, this that what he said there, that really reverberates through any aspect of life. You know what I'm saying? Um, it just, man, it was an awesome saying. It was a powerful saying. It was a sobering saying. So as I do after Frogman, after he said that, and then after I listened to the whole entire Lions Den episode, I went and I reached out to Pastor Daniel and to Frogman, and I asked because what we do here in our assembly is we have a on the on the Shabbat we have a morning virtual Bible study through like a Zoom meeting type app that we use. And so all of our saints, we all get on there and we'll discuss a topic. But I invited Frogman on as a guest, and he man, we listened to him just drop wisdom for like 45 minutes. It was awesome. You could only imagine. So what I'm coming on here to do is, to the best of my ability, really break down some of the stuff he that he was bringing out, and really, like, I'm gonna tell you one of the biggest things I took away from that Lions Den episode last week, and one of the biggest things I took away from really listening to Frogman when he came to our virtual Shabbat Bible study was the fact that I was like, wow, there really is a such thing as excellence. There is. There really is. You really can walk damn near in perfection. You know what I'm saying? Because it really shed light on something that I've been really trying to uh I'm not gonna say understand, but really get like sharpened on, and that is, something that perplexed me is like, okay, I got a brother like Frogman here, and other brothers similar to them. Then I got this brother over here. We'll call this brother over here Brother Goofy. Okay, every time you turn around, he's doing something goofy. And then the world sentiment on something like down those types of behaviors, hey, sometimes people are just goofy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, it just happened, and well, this it was a oopsie, and this just happened, and that, and and this is something that I've seen my whole life. It's like even growing up, like in my family, it was like, okay, this part of my family, it's always something crazy going on. And in this part of my family, it's like they got their act together. And it's like, what is that? And so I've always seen, why some people they operate in excellence and then other people are just messy. You know what I'm saying? And this has been something that, I've been really chasing to be wise on, to get the true understanding of. And now here I am, almost 47 or something like that. I stopped counting. Um, and I really see it. Just, you know. So we're going to really get into this thing, and this is going to be a blessing to, you know, people who have to deal with this, people who do these types of behaviors, you know, people who walk in these in um in these ways where, you know, they're prone to calamity. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be a blessing, and it's going to be also be a blessing to people who have to deal with this type of stuff, because especially, I was talking to the saints today, and when you get in community, man, if you one of these people who, you brother goofy, and every time we turn around, you doing something goofy, man, okay, out in the world, it just affects you and everything. But you come into an assembly or something with set apart, serious minded saints, now it affects everybody, and you really get to see you. You know what I'm saying? And look, it's that this is what it is, man. It can be, it can be uncomfortable, um, operating in this way. When coming into community, and coming into community is really coming face to face with you. Hey, look. And you like, oh, Mike, so what you talking about? Look, I'm talking about stuff I've had to see in me. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, through their pride or whatever the issue is, you know what I'm saying? They they have a hard time. Some people it's a hard pill to swallow when people realize, you know, they're not as excellent as they thought they were. Um, but man, I'll tell you in a minute. I take full advantage of having um, brothers around me who have uh, function at at high levels. Have function in excellence at high levels. Um, brothers like um, the ones I name all the time, Pastor Dow, um, uh, um, Frogman, Brother Gideon, uh, Elder Elder Rob, Elder Pastor Daniel, you know, um, Elder Kabir, these people who function on high levels, Elder Mitchell, they function at high levels of discipline. And it, like, one of the things Frogman was saying when he was in our Bible study talking to us, is he was just saying how all so much of that stuff that he learned in special operations transferred into his spiritual walk. you know and mind you, a spiritual walk is a higher level, of excellence that you have to function in. But, you know, talking to him, you know what I'm saying? He has, he gets it. I put it like that. Um, so I got some things here. And y'all, man, put a 100 up in here if you ready for this dead season to be over. Because, I mean, boy, it's been it's been a hell of a dead season. I mean, Satan been running a monkey fool on some of these folks out here. A monkey fool out here on some of these saints out here, man. And it's just one for the record books. I mean, boy, don't even get me going. And we're gonna hit on that too about on we're gonna hit on this dead season and just you know one of the things I put here is with these dead season. Dead season is gonna be hard regardless, but it's either gonna be a good hard, like that hard where you're lifting weights and you got muscle soreness because you're getting stronger, or it's gonna be a bad hard where Satan running a monkey fool on your ass. So what I did, and what I still do with our saints here is I continue. I'm telling them, y'all, we are in the war zone. Stay locked and loaded. Keep your head on a swivel. That means like this, looking for the enemy. We are not, we are off the FOB, the forward operating base. We are out in enemy territory. Hear what I'm saying. Stay locked in, stay loaded. Watch your six, watch your back. You know what I'm saying? We are in the war zone. And in saying all that, you still got folks, they are literally skipping through the minefield. It's a minefield. There's shit to blow you up everywhere, and you got people playing hot scotch out there. Like, oh, la, 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 la. It's like, oh, I could start skipping. We're days away from the new year, and this, that, and the other. Satan running a monkey boo on these mugs. We got to stay locked in. If you stay locked in, you're going to be getting stronger and you're going to be growing faster in the dead season. I could tell you, man, it's just real talk. And I could tell by all the 100s that y'all saints done put in there that y'all know what I'm talking about. I could tell y'all get it. Okay. I mean, I'm telling you, man, it's just been one for the record books, y'all. It's, and it's, look, we got to ramp this thing up even the more. I realize I got to be even more vocal in dealing with the saints here and everything. And I'll tell you, in the larger scope of things have went well for us here in Straitway Studio. Okay, here in the studio, things have went well. No, and that's considering some of the other things that have transpired, but we can do a lot better. And I could tell you, I'm always trying to sharpen the my sword, iron sharpen iron. I'm always trying to move forward and grow. And I see a lot of areas we could grow in the coming days, weeks, and months. And hallelujah for that, because complacency won't be rearing its head here. And if it does, it's not going to be a very comfortable place for that type of spirit. Okay, so we're gonna get into our brother Frogman, man. I want to thank him again. I want to thank Straitway Goshen as a whole for the example that they have set for myself, for me, because they are literally like our big brother assembly, because we listen to Pastor, we look at the example he lays out, we watch how Elder Mitchell is shaking and moving. We we check out the history and the culture of Straitway, Georgia. As y'all know, Elder Rufus is the one who, he raised me up in Straitway. You know what I'm saying? When I say raised me, he was like the one who, matured me or whatever you want to say, showed me the ropes, whatever you want to call it. It was Elder Rufus. So all these examples, I want to thank all these brothers, and particularly I want to thank Straitway Goshen just for the example that they set, because they the latest greatest. Like, they the latest ones to really get on, establish a community and just shake and bake like it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? Those um and I'm sorry if the stream glitches out. We're gonna keep pressing. Just stay engaged. Um, I'm gonna be look. I just tell you straight. I'm very soon. I'm gonna spend some big money. I'm gonna save up some pennies, and I'm gonna spend some money on a device, and it's a bonded internet device. Um, I'm gonna just spend the money on it, and this will be a thing of the past. Any type of glitch, no matter where I go. So that'll be coming soon, because I'm tired of this. But anyway, I want to thank those brothers for really, and what I do every feast day or whatever. They know I'm calling. I talk to Pastor Daniel. I say, hey man, can you come over and talk to the saints over here? I talked to Elder Mitchell. Hey, can you come over and talk to the saints? I know how busy Elder Rufus be, so I don't be trying to ask him to come over and talk to us, but I did for this feast. So Elder Rufus will be coming over to talk to the saints of Straitway Studio, because it's a blessing, and we need to take advantage of, the leadership we have. A lot of people don't really realize what that is. If this was 4 years ago, I wouldn't realize, what was going on and who I'm sitting around, and try to take advantage of it. But I get it now on a deep level. These brothers get it. They've been through it. It's a blessing. Hallelujah. And I don't dare ask Pastor to come out there and talk to our assembly, because I know I followed him around before at feasts, and Pastor literally can't walk 2 feet without somebody, hey, Pastor, blah, blah, blah. I remember one time we put up a camera system for him, and in that storage building back there, that's across from the tabernacle. Okay. And he needed to come from the tabernacle to right over to the building where the new shop is, the maintenance shop and the wood shop, all that up there on the hill. So he literally needed to come from the tabernacle right over to that building. Man, it took a while just for him to get from there to there, because all the people, so I understand that. That's why I don't try to, wear out the patience of the leadership, but it is what it is. Anyway, check this out. Like I said, the dead season, it could be tough in 2 ways. It could be tough in one way, or it could be tough the other way. It depends on how you make it. Okay? It depends on how tough you make it, and in which way you're going to make it tough. Okay? So what I was talking about before is, as I grow in wisdom, I look at stuff, and one of the things that have perplexed me for years is just looking at certain people, and why certain people, their life could just be chaos, sheer chaos. And then other people, their life is just sheer excellence. And as I've grown and got older and met more and more people, I've looked, and I've been able to get to know people, and I've gotten to know the people whose lives are full of chaos, and I've been able to see, oh, that's why everything around you is just a disaster. And then I've gotten the opportunity of being around people who function in excellence. And I look at them and it's like, oh, I get it. That is why you function in excellence. And then I've studied the word, but I don't study the word in a hyper religious way. You know what I'm saying? Or a hyper spiritual way. I read the word for what it is, for the practical word for what it is and what it's saying. And I see exactly why these people, they can, a lot of these people are nice, kind, friendly people, but their lives are just pure chaos. And guess what? When I look in the word and I look at how they operate, these people are wicked. They're nice, but they're wicked. Because what? They're not doing what thus saith Yah. Y'all put a 100 up in there. Put it also, type of crispy in there if the audio is crispy, like KFC chicken. All right. All right. Then I've got the opportunity, like I said, of being around these people who function in excellence. And, just watching how they do everything. Like a good example, being around Brother Gideon and just listening how he thinks, how he looks at stuff, how the level of forethought he has in everything he does, and then looking at how things function around him. Okay, looking at Pastor Daniel, looking at Elder Rob, looking at Elder Kabir, looking at Frogman, looking at Pastor Dow, looking at Elder Rufus, looking at Elder Mitchell, and just how they operate, how they're thinking, how I'm thinking. And I'm sitting there comparing. I'm like, dang. Like, and these brothers don't even know. I just be talking to them, analyzing them. And I'm like, dang, he said this. He said he's going to do that. And I'm like, and then I'm thinking in my head, well, I was going to do it this way. And he said he's going to do it this way because of that. And I was like, wow, that's why he functions. Okay, I get it. I see how he thinks. And just following my leadership. That's what following your leadership is. You know what I'm saying? I just sit there and analyze folks. Why? Because I'll tell you something. I'll tell you one thing, one of the reasons, but everybody should do that. But I'm gonna tell you, I I I learn from listening, but I learn more from watching and analyzing and just watching what people are doing. Watch how people are talking. Get on the phone talking to Pastor Dow. Just listen to what he's saying and why he moving the way he is. And you can figure it out just watching people. You can figure out why they operate and moving the way they are. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Frogman, if you just go back and listen to that lines, then Frogman shared the recipe for success. He shared the recipe for how to walk in excellence. Whether whether you're applying it to this word and serving Yah, it says the Lord is a man of war. Who is his name? It's written. It says it. Like, so his military mindset transfers right to this book, which is a military book. When you read through it, it's definitely not a tiptoe through the tulips, emotional, Christianity book of feelings and stuff. Nah, it's a book about obedience. You know what I'm saying? But what we talking about is forethought. And we got really kind of park it here because this, man, It's like, man, talking to one of the saints today, and it's like I endlessly beat this drum because I look at people and I see that they don't get this, and this is tricky. Um, this is a tricky thing. Okay, this is Satan at work, and we're talking about forethought, because a lot of people who they're constantly screwing up somehow, or people making mistakes and stuff like that. You know, it's like this is what they told us in the Air Force. They said, uh, one all shit kills 1,000 attaboys. So they go, oh, good job, Mike. Oh, good job, Mike. Oh, good job, Mike. My whole career. Good job, Mike. Mechanically speaking. Good job, Mike. Oh, you got that done, Mike. Good job. Good job. Good job. But if I messed up one time torquing, let's say torquing or blending a fan blade on the engine, or let's say I messed up one time on an engine installation and the plane crashed. You see what I'm saying? So operating in excellence is a lifestyle. It ain't something you do just once. You know, operating in, striving for perfection, having forethought is a lifestyle. It's not something you just, I'm gonna just do this. No, we want to walk in excellence, so we don't have to walk in these curses. Okay, but we're gonna get all into this because people are they missing this thing. And I seen it this dead season with some of this crazy stuff that happened. That people are just totally missing the connection between what the Bible's saying and literally what they're doing in their life. Like the moves that they're making day to day in their life. They are not making the connection on that thing. And it got Satan running a monkey fool in Israel. Forethought. This is the definition. Careful consideration of what will be necessary or may happen in the future. People don't be thinking. Y'all, I've been doing all my shows are geared to this thing. I've been going in hard on this pornography thing. And people are not considering, they're not being careful, and they're not thinking about the future. Like if you look at that one picture, where could you end up at? Folks ain't thinking this thing out, man. Folks are not thinking this thing out. There is no forethought. People are just mindlessly just going through the day. Let's look up another one that might shed better light and permeate people's brains. Precaution. That's another good word that people lack, that we need more. Precaution. A measure taken in advance to prevent something dangerous, unpleasant, or inconvenient. It's like people lack discipline. And we have to have precaution the way we move. It's if you don't operate with precaution, with forethought, and you calling yourself my brother and my sister and all this, you're selfish and you're lying and you're inconsiderate. We have to operate with precaution. All right? Safeguard. A measure taken to protect someone or something or to prevent something undesirable. You see what I'm saying? We got to safeguard. And a lot of people, man, you got pastor warning you, pastor sounding the alarm. Hey, the enemy's out here. We are under attack. Okay. You got uh so you got pastor warning you. You got Pastor Daniel warning you. You got Elder Mitchell warning you. Elder Rufus like you got all these you Teacher Greg warning you got all these brothers teaching this word and pleading with you about the hey, we're in the dead season. This is how it works. I didn't talk to some of the saints here about some of the stuff that has happened in this dead season. And people still, oh man, that's terrible. Go whistling through the minefield. Tap dancing through the minefield. Click, 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 through a minefield. And at some point they're like, oh, really? They got attacked over there? Yeah, we need to keep our heads on swivel. Yes, sir. That's how we should be. Just literally looking around, looking in and around us to see if there's anything Satan might use to make a monkey fool out of us. Y'all put a 100 up in there if that makes sense. All right. Okay. So let's keep it moving. All right. Let me go back over here. Okay. This walk, it is so fragile, like it's such a balance. You know what I'm saying? This walk, like, you know, um, what comes to mind just when I'm talking about that is, I know y'all like, Mike, you go into that verse again. And yeah, it's uh that book of John, the book Joshua, where the Most High tells them, don't move, stay on this word, don't deviate to the left or to the right. Meditate on this thing day and night, like stay locked in. Um, it's imperative. It's imperative. Hey, bless you, Elder. Bless you, Elder. That's Elder Rufus. I was out there in Straitway, Georgia. Man, it was one of them sisters. They accommodated my grain free diet, and one of the sisters there made pizza pasta. Okay. Y'all, that is the nutrient. That stuff was so good. I think I'm done with pizza altogether. It was pizza pasta with chickpea noodles. Boy, it was on point. And sister, I hope you sent that recipe to Sister Coy so I could have that on the regular here. But yeah, that pizza pasta was slamming. All right. But yeah, that verse, we gotta stay locked in. We have to stay locked into the scripture because this walk is so delicate. You got to diligently stay on it. Satan is out there seeking. Like Pastor broke that thing down. And it goes right over people's head. Like people just hear this and they don't do a spiritual audit on what they got going on in their life. Like folks are not thinking. They just, oh, okay, good message. It ain't me. Instead of really looking through your life with a fine tooth comb, seeing, hey, what do I need to tighten up? Look, I'm talking to myself. When I get done with this video, I'm going to do a tighten up on me. I'm even while I'm talking, I'm doing an audit of, hey, what do I need to tighten up? What do I need to work on? All right. The next thing folks need to really understand, because I'll tell you what happens. People get around the saints. It's iron sharpens iron. Folks be getting in their feelings and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, you put my finger right there. You are the sum total of your decisions. Okay? You. The one I'm pointing at right now. You are the sum total of your decisions, of the decisions you've made in your life. Okay? And a lot of people, that pride, that spirit of pride and all that, it blocks them from seeing that. And then that's Satan's express route in to making a monkey fool out of them. And hey, look, don't even get me started. All right. The Most High blesses you when you get down with His program. When you put Him first. Not your feelings, not your emotions, not this, that, and other. We're gonna get into that, because I got some scriptures. We're gonna get a meat off the bone on what I'm saying in this thing. When you get down with the Most High program, He will reward you with abundance. One of the things I'm gonna be talking to y'all about in the coming episode, we're gonna get back into this lust thing that a lot of brothers and sisters be struggling with. And because they don't get down with the Most High's program, they ain't got no fight in them. They just end up giving in to the lust. Okay. And Satan makes a monkey fool out of you. Where if you get down with the Most High's program, He will make provisions for you to take care of all your lusts. Okay. If you get down with His program, He, like, you read through the book. If you're a brother, you got a high sex drive, I guarantee you, 2 or 3 wives will take care of that to where you don't even want to think about it no more. I done seen this type of thing before, boy. I done seen this type of thing before. Okay? So it's just real talk. But I'm just giving you a simple example. I'm telling you things I've seen in my life where, you draw near to Yah and He will draw near to you. You draw near to your emotions and Satan will draw near to you. And you will be looking like a monkey fool. Okay? One of the big things, again, is this is where I'm at with this thing right now, is this deceived obedience. Or it's like people feel like they're being obedient, but they're reaping the fruit of disobedience. And why? Because the reality is they're disobedient. They're not doing the book. They're deceiving themselves. Like people that because of Christianity and a lot of stuff, the watered down crap that's taught out there, a lot of people are deceived into thinking that being obedient, like they don't realize what sin is. And one of the big things is people think, oh, he just made a mistake. Oh, it was a oopsie. He just had a oopsie. And they don't realize that, that this sin, this is wickedness. This is why we keep getting this negative result in these areas, and this happened, this happened. We have this setback. Look, I've seen it. Look, man, look, me and Sister Koya had a history before we came to Straitway, because we was out there with these so-called Hebrew Israelites trying to build, and y'all, me and Koya like, what in the hell is this? Like, we seeing crazy stuff. We we watching mugs act a monkey fool. They doing everything you see in the world. We watching the Most High come down with judgment on people, and we like, what? It's like I'm looking at Coy and she looking at me. I'm like, yo, it was better when it was just me and you having Shabbats on the couch, eating pancakes, watching Bible lessons. Like, it wasn't half as stressful. And when we came up to the Great Awakening Hebrew Gathering, me and Corey was like, you know what? After this meeting here, we done trying to fellowship with these sloppy ass Hebrews out here, so-called Hebrew. We done. We're going to go back home. We're going to start having our own little peaceful Shabbats. But the Most High, he introduced us to Straitway. Brothers and sisters walking the straight way. He introduced us to some people that were really walking this thing out. And like I said, after that day, I talked to Deacon Dave, because Deacon Dave was the first brother in Straitway that I really sat down and talked to, and he explained the Straitway model, and immediately I knew, yo, this is it. And I seen how all them brothers operated, just serious minded. I was like, yo, this what's up. But all that, not to get off subject, but people are deceiving themselves into thinking they're operating righteously when the fruit of their lives shows sin. And like I said, you get too far off, you let Satan take you too far off. He trying to get you killed. Okay, he trying to take you out. We got it. We got that scripture. We got that. Let's get that. Let's get that script real quick. Let me get that right here. Bam. It says, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour." He's looking at your life to see where you slipping at. And guess what Michael Israel's doing? I want y'all put it in the comments. I know y'all know. I know the saints here know. What is Michael Israel doing? What is Michael Israel looking at? I'm gonna wait for somebody. I think somebody gonna get this one. I think people I'm a trust the Father that people are listening and receiving what I'm saying. Satan is seeking you to see where you slipping at. Okay? And what is Michael Israel looking at when he's looking at you? People putting footwork. Ain't nobody listening to me. You want to know what Michael Israel looking at? I'm sitting there looking at you, seeing where you're slipping at. Satan looking at you to see where you slipping at so he could devour you. And I'm looking at you to see where you slipping at so Satan don't get your stupid ass. But some people, man, it's like you gotta, like Pastor say, you gotta love them more than they hate themselves. I can't tell you the number of people I gotta fight. I gotta fight them to save them from them. You know what I'm saying? It's real, y'all. This thing real. This thing real. Okay? This thing real, y'all. I'm telling you. We gotta look. We got every tool is literally at our fingertips. Like you could just pull up any pass down message, whatever. You got deliverance. You got the Holy Spirit. You got His Word. You got elders, pastors, teachers, mothers, deacons, heads of assemblies, right at your fingertip. And we still running a monkey fool out here. That's a choice there. At that point, I'm like, yo, folks is making choices, you know. All right, let's get back to it. Let's stay on track. All right. Let's see. The importance of forethought. We got to think, y'all. These curses are staring us right in the face. People see crazy shit happening in them, around them, in their life, whatever. And one of the biggest things is, man, people have made gods of people, places, and things, and they won't make the changes necessary to walk righteously. They won't make the changes. And what did we see? I mean, it's gonna come out. It comes out. So, man, so one of the things Frogman said in the meeting that was so heavy, he's talking about, you got these people and they're late for everything, or, well, this happened and this happened. And, with Frogman, what he was saying is you got to have a contingency plan. You have to have a contingent. So let's look up contingency. Let's look that word up. Okay? Because I want to make it basic. Contingency. It says a future event or circumstance which is possible but cannot be predicted with certainty. Okay? So he said you have to have a contingency plan, a provision for an unforeseen event or circumstance. Okay? So you're making provision. Okay? What does provision mean? Because folks might not know. We getting all the meat off the bone, so folks ain't up there like, well, I thought. You being a I thought brother instead of I think brother. You know what I'm saying? Or a I thought saint instead of I think saint. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, people be like, well, I thought. And then I'm sitting there trying to deal with my demons and stuff I'm wrestling with. Because you sitting there saying, I thought. And I'm like, this damn demon of anger. Let me get some deliverance on this thing. You know? I mean, put a 100 up in there if you get what old Michael Israel saying there. You know? I'll tell you, man. Hey. So provision. The action, we're about that action. The action of providing or supplying something for use. It also says an amount of things supplied or provided. Set aside an amount in an organization's accounts for a known liability. So it's basically just being prepared with what you're going to need if something. So you want to provision time so you get places on time. I got people, man, I tell them, yeah. It's like, hey, Mike, what time does the meeting start? 4:30. Okay. I know if I tell them the meeting start at 4:30, they'll be there at 4:45. And I like everybody to be at my meetings 15 minutes early. So they'll be right on time for my 5 o'clock meeting. And that's how I got to deal with some of these folks, because this Satan just run a monkey fool on that area of their life. It's like, hey, until the Most High start dealing with them, you just got to deal with them. But we got to make provision. That's right, Ella. Ella said, be angry, but sin not. And I don't. Because if you sin when you're angry and you react off that, then you're operating in rage. And he's right. That is a sin. So, yeah. So, when y'all come to me and say, I thought, or I'm going to tell you what really get me upset is apologies. Well, I'm sorry. And then, an hour later, oh, my bad. I'm sorry. It's like that brother has made a life of just apologizing to people. And people, oh, no, it's okay. It's cool. Nobody, come over here. We're going to hold your feet to that. Oh, you are sorry? Okay. Show us, Look, I can't tell you, and look, I'm talking about this and people don't like this because what you're doing is pulling the blanket back off they demons. People will come to you and tell you they are sorry for doing something and turn right back around and do it again. And what did Elder Donnie say in that message he taught the week before? He was like, people will repent about stuff and say they sorry, but they're lying through their goddamn cheesy teeth because they will turn around and do that thing again. And they're not showing the fruit of repentance. And why do I get so upset at that? Because not so much I'm getting upset. It's like, why are you doing yourself like that? Don't you know this is eternity? Don't you know you got to be loyal and about this business? And like nobody loves these people enough to check their ass and to make them, like, to give them some pain so that the bullshit they're doing gets their attention. Nobody loves people enough to do that. I do. I don't care if you don't like me. Because, hey, look, Corey will tell you in a minute, I'm not in a popularity contest here. I'm not, But I am in a soul contest. That makes sense. So it's just real, y'all. It's another level. Me and Sister Koya were out on a walk, and this stuff be coming to me. When I know I got a show coming up, stuff just be coming to me. Now check this out. I told Koya, because my phone went dead, so I told her, hey, text this to me, okay? So I had her take this down, but this is what I told her because this is where it came in my mind. And this is what people don't get. And I want people to really be locked in with what's going on. And because people think, again, we're in a minefield and people think we're out here in tiptoeing through the tulips. But you're on a battlefield and they're trying to kill you. And you got commanders out here on this battlefield trying to tell you where you need to be, where you need to go so you don't get mortared or landmine or shot. And people are they think they're in ballerina school or something. So this is what I told Corey. I said, we're in the end times and we are learning to stand up and walk as a nation. And it requires more responsibility than most are ready for. And this is what's going on. We are literally, especially us, I'm not saying we're the cutting edge, because the brothers and sisters on the community are on the cutting edge. But we are definitely near the cutting edge of standing up and learning to walk as a nation. And a lot of people just don't get it. They think they're somewhere else. And we're learning to rely on ourselves as a nation. But people can't even count on their damn self. Look, y'all, I got grown men here that I got grown men, legally grown men, you name it. And I got young children that are more responsible than them. And in their mind, it's like, hey, it's no big deal. Hey, we laughing out here. I'm like, yo, I'm telling you, I done seen this thing. And look, I'm sure other brothers and sisters have seen it too. Y'all, we got to tighten up. I mean, look, me, like last night, me, Koya, and Madison, we watched, I think it's called The Day After. We watched The Day After, and then the nuclear war movies, okay? And from back in the 80s, but man, they damn good. And the one, they're following these people. They're on a plane. They're pilots on a B-52. That one was all right. But the other one we watched was real good because it really showed, like I would like to remake that movie. But yeah, that movie, they're out there in Kansas City near the Whiteman Air Force Base, near all the missile silos. And basically, there's conflict going on over there with Russia or something pop off the wrong way. And the next thing you know, the missiles is going up, them nuclear weapons. They see them launching out the silos out there around Kansas City, Whiteman Air Force Base. Kansas, Whiteman Air Force Base. And they know them missiles going up. And they heading over to Russia. So guess what's coming in their direction? More missiles, nuclear weapons to take them out. And so, yeah, we watched that. And it's just very sobering. It's you see how people react. We saw, even in that movie, the same types of people, the people who don't listen, people who get in their feelings, and it got them killed. They got them killed out there because they wouldn't listen. They didn't function well in that type of situation. People going blind because they weren't listening and getting radiation poisoning. And it's just like, this is why something that seems small to a lot of people is a big deal to me, because I know in a life or death situation, them same spirits are gonna manifest, and they're gonna cause death. They're gonna cause death. And like I said, man, the stuff I come at people with, because I be on, man, it's folks, man, you just gotta be on, folks. Wake them the hell up. And when they get out their feelings and they look back, they realize, man, this brother loves me. Like, this brother does not want to see me destroyed or messed up or in a bad situation. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, what's the name of that movie? Let me see. History. Might be, yeah, it's on here. Yesterday. Hold on. The Day After. It's called The Day After. And what you got to do is put in parentheses actually go to Hollywood Land on YouTube. That's the name. All you got to do is go to Hollywood Land on YouTube. Okay. And when you're on Hollywood Land on YouTube, you go to the that's the name of the channel. It's Hollywood Land. And as soon as you pull the channel up, it's the intro video that's on there. It's like the video actually starts playing when you open the channel. And it's good. It's free. It's 2 hours long. Yeah, it's good, man. Very educational on, we got a lot of training in the Air Force on how nuclear war, how it works. Like a lot of people don't know in a nuclear attack, the first attack, all the they detonate all the weapons way up in the air. They don't even hit the ground in any way, and that's to knock out all the electrical. That way, the radar and the defense systems are down. Then the next wave hits the ground and takes you out. And but there's a lot of good educational stuff in there. But the long and the short is, people need to wake up. Man, there's a lot of people in a shit hit the fan scenario, some type of natural disaster or some type of disaster scenario. Man, there's a lot of people I know that they'd be dead and they get people killed just because the way they operate and move. So, yeah, man. It's just, hey, and you try to shake people and wake them up, man, but it's like some people love the darkness. Yeah. All right, let's see. The mistake, deception, lack of. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get into a couple scriptures here. And if y'all got any questions, comments, concerns, definitely get them in there. Let me see. Let me get my. Okay, here we go. So a lot of this, you brothers and sisters have heard before. It's nothing new. I read the Be Vigilant one. Let me see what else. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. And the thing is, at the end of the day, if you are diligently seeking the Most High, everything else falls right in the line. It don't, people ain't yelling at you every 5 minutes, and you just fit into the body, and not like a malfunctioning part of the body. Like you're not like a arm that won't do what the mind tells it. Like pick up, point at the camera, and you like, oh, my nervous system won't let me do it. That's how some saints are when they get in the body. They're like a dysfunctional part, and they cause the body to be handicapped. But in their mind, they just doing what they think. And nah, the brain is off, Oh, yeah. Somebody asks, can you give the site for your natural remedies? Go ahead, post that in the comments, please. It's householdherbs.com. And check this out. Because I'm pretty much at the end of my lesson, but check this out. For radiation poisoning, there are herbs that pull that stuff right out. I have to look them up, but yeah, there are herbs that will reverse radiation poisoning. The Most High has made provision. All right. Okay, let's see. So yeah. But if y'all have any questions, comments, or concerns, definitely post them in there. I just want to come on there and drop this. I got some news, some exciting news, and then some other news. Um, we'll get into the small news first, but as far as for the Hebrew thing, um, it is pretty big news what's going to be going on here soon. Um, let me see if I can find some more information on it so I could give you some of the details. Okay. All right. There is now this isn't in Straightway. This is some Hebrews out there, but this debate this gonna be probably the biggest debate in the history of this Hebrew Israelite thing. This debate that's coming up. I'm just telling you. And like I said, for those of you who don't know, I used to be out there in the so-called Hebrew Israelite community. I've I've been around. I've met a lot of the people in these camps, in these assemblies, in these all over the Hebrew Israelite community, and I used to be very involved in it and things that were going on in it. Um, So I do, and I try to stay in the news of what's going on out there in the Hebrew Israelite community, okay, or what's not going on. But anyway, there is an interesting debate coming up, and this debate is going to be the biggest debate in the Hebrew Israelite community to date that I know of. Like I don't know anything that's even approached anywhere near it. And that debate is going to be between Dr. Michael Brown. So he's he's a Messianic Jew. So he's a Jewish person who believes in the Messiah. Okay. Jewish. Okay. And he is a nationally awarded, recognized book writer and all this stuff. So he's mainstream. He's a mainstream um, uh, person, guy, Messianic Jew who's uh, he's mainstream. He's nationally known as a bookseller and all this stuff. Big deal. And he's going to be debating Guerrilla Hebrew from the Sakari, and Guerrilla Hebrew from the Sakari, he has a big following. Okay, their doctrine is camp doctrine, but what's going to make it a big debate is because what they're going to be debating about is, are the Sephardic Jews the people of the book, or are the black African Americans here in America and stuff like that the people of the book? So that's like a very rock solid topic that that's going to be a very big debate. And it's, like I said, I don't subscribe to the camp doctrine, but I think in that area, because they go with the 12 tribe chart, stuff like that. But when it comes to just proving who's who and what's what, that almost completely across the whole Hebrew Israelite community, that, that's almost understood consistently. There's a lot of deviation all over the Hebrew Israelite community, but it's going to be a very interesting debate. I'm going to definitely check it out. It's going to, you check it out for entertainment. It's better than watching this other crap they got on. But anyway, so we got that going on. But here's the big news. This is the big news that y'all need to know about. Okay. We're starting a show, and it's going to be on Wednesdays and it's gonna be called Ask the Elect. Now that I haven't got confirmation on whether, I got to make sure everybody signs off that that can be the title of the name of the show. But that's what I came up with, is Ask the Elect. And it's going to be a show that is going to consist of Pastor Dow, Pastor Daniel, Elder Rufus, and probably some other elders from time to time. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to have questions based on modern, things going on, current events, things going on in the community in Israel. And we're going to have questions that I am going to ask the elders and the pastors, and they're going to break it down. And that show is going to be every other Wednesday. So one Wednesday will be Lions Den, and the next Wednesday is going to be Ask the Elect. And I think we're going to simulcast that show across Lions Den, so Straightway Goshen's channel, Pastor Dow's channel, Elder Rufus' channel, my channel, just to give it the widest base of dissemination. So we're going to work all the details out, but that show is going to premiere this Wednesday. Okay. So in 2 days. Okay. So this Wednesday coming up. And the topic of discussion is going to be Pastor Mir, Pastor Dow, Elder Rufus. They're going to be addressing some of the things that were said on the Jason Whitlock show that Pastor Daniel went on. He was interviewed on there. And then some of Jason Whitlock's Christian pastors and I guess Christian advisors that he brings on the show, they had some not things that weren't factual that they said about Pastor Daniel. So we're going to address those things and some other things that were that came about on that show. It's going to be very good. Definitely tune in. We're going to, like I said, we're going to give it the widest dissemination we can. It's going to be a great show. So those are some of the things going on, y'all. Yes. What I'm going to do is, as it stands right now, I want to live stream it on this channel, on Pastor's channel, on Straightway Goshen's channel, and on Elder Rufus's channel. If I can. If it doesn't work out right, it depends on how everything's going, how I could get everything configured. We might end up doing something different, but just checking. Trust me, when we start doing it, you will see it, because it's gonna be big. Okay. With the truth, that's the level of truth that's going to be coming out on this show, on Ask the Elect. It's going to be, it's going to go big, because nobody's talking like this. Nobody's talking like this. So nobody's speaking on these things. Nobody's speaking truth on a lot of these situations that are going on out here. People are wrapped up in a blanket of delusion. They can't find their way out for nothing. They just trapped in an ocean of delusion. Okay? And they don't even know which way is up. And look, Christianity has been overrun by sin, and it's about to be completely overrun by it. And the sign of that is when something is completely overrun by Satan, when the sodomites come in. And that's what's going on right now. So it's about over for all that. Okay? And that's just facts. Yeah. All right. So anyway, y'all. Oh, what a day today. Um yeah, that's all I got today. Today was day of days. You know what I'm saying? This dead season was woo. We just waiting for the new year. It makes me think about this song that I used to listen to back in the day. It went like this. It was like, I need a doctor to give me some therapy. I need a doctor to check my brain. All right, that's what you feel. That's what it be feeling like out here, man. It was that song was funny. But anyway, y'all, I'm excited about the feast. Pastor, I talked to Pastor. I think y'all heard he said on Blog Talk, man, this feast, they are talking, it's Feast of Tabernacle numbers on a Passover. So, man, you already know. It makes me wonder, like, dang, what's Passover gonna be like? And what we need to do is ask Pastor, when is he gonna start working on the next tabernacle? You know, we need to start building the next tabernacle. This one maxed out already. And this next tabernacle we build needs to be shaped like a stadium so we could fit in the max amount of people. anyway, anyway, y'all. With that said, man, I appreciate all y'all tuning in. I want y'all to put a 100 in there if y'all was receiving what's being said on here. Definitely appreciate all y'all tuning in. Y'all stay locked in this dead season, okay? Don't give place to Satan. He's out here. Look, he done try to come at me. I mean, like never before, you know. And he's like, when they say he's subtle, one of the things Frogman was saying when he was talking about how he was marveling, where it said that Satan was subtler than any beast in the field. And then Dre was just talking about how, you know, he's trained Frogman trained up in, you know, warfare, you know, stealth and all this stuff. And he was talking about how when he was out hunting, he's out hunting deer, and how subtle the deer is. It's a big deer, but that thing can creep basically silently where you can't even hear it. And he was just talking about how subtle that is. And it says Satan is subtler than that. And he is, man. Like, without this word, he'd devour us. Y'all just take that. That's it's just something to think about. But anyway, y'all, I appreciate all y'all. I appreciate all y'all tuning in. I am Michael Israel. You are watching Spiritual Combat, and shalom, shalom.